Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Game Station's Blood Bowl League. This is an introductory video to explain to you the basics of the game, the league, and allow all of our contestants to introduce their teams in their own words. Blood Bowl is a game that was released in 1987, created by Jervis Johnson and sold by Games Workshop, a company you should be familiar with since they produced Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40,000. The game is a fantasy sports game which takes place in an alternate version of the Warhammer Fantasy universe in which races have laid down their arms and expressed their conflicts and rivalries through a rather violent sport called Blood Bowl. The game was originally a tabletop war game which is still available via the Games Workshop store, although the miniatures are rather expensive and involve two teams playing on a grid-based pitch with hand-painted miniatures. The version we'll be playing is Cyanide Studios' Blood Bowl Chaos Edition, which is the latest version of the computerized Blood Bowl. This version is based on the latest rule set known as Living Rulebook 6. Blood Bowl is a fantasy sports game based on American football and rugby rules. The goal of the game is to take the ball and reach the opponent's end zone, at which point you will score a touchdown, putting 1 point on the board. The player with the most points after 16 turns will be proclaimed the winner. The game is played with two different sets of dice. The D6, which is of course the most common dice on the market, the six-sided dice available in pretty much every board game known to man, and the block dice, which is used in the so-called block action, aka punching your opponent in the face. The game consists of 16 turns split up into two halves. During a turn, a coach may choose to take an action with all of his players currently standing on the board. These actions include the ability to move, the ability to pick up the ball, attempt to pass the ball, as well as initiate a block action when in base-to-base contact with another player. There are also a couple of unique actions that you can only take once per turn. These include Blitz, the ability to both move and block in the same turn with a single player, as well as a foul action, which can be used to stick the boot in on a downed player. There are also several actions that can be taken which are dependent on skills, such as leap and the ability to throw a player from one side of the pitch to the other. Key to Blood Bowl's mechanics is the so-called turnover. This occurs when a player fails to achieve an action that is dictated by a dice roll. This will result in the turn immediately ending and passing to the other player. This is a key mechanic because it introduces the element of risk management into Blood Bowl. There are certain actions which do not require a dice roll. However, any action that does can potentially result in a turnover. Examples of when this can occur include trying to deliberately take an action to pick up the ball and failing to do so, throwing the ball and failing to then catch it, or initiating a block action which results in the attacker being knocked down. Blocks themselves are determined with the special block dice, which has various symbols including Defender Pushed Back, Defender Stumbles, Defender Down, Both Down, and Attacker Down. High-risk maneuvers such as fouls, unfavorable block actions, or dangerous dodge rolls should be left towards the end of the turn because of the risk of resulting in a turnover. Most dice rolls within Blood Bowl are modified by the player's stats and skills. A high agility player with the dodge skill, for instance, will have a very high chance of being able to dodge out of a tackle zone successfully without being knocked down. In comparison, a player with low strength trying to attempt a block action against a high strength player is not likely to have the dice go in his favor. Each team has a roster of different players with different stats and starting skills that are clearly designed for different roles. The Chaos Edition of Blood Bowl consists of 23 different teams, each with different kinds of players available to purchase. Each team will begin with a team value of 1,000, which consists of 1 million gold pieces to spend on team members, as well as ancillary benefits such as rerolls, cheerleaders, and fan factor. Blood Bowl is played in a campaign league setting, which means that teams are persistent. This means that individual players have the opportunity to level up if they've earned enough skill points in a game, which will lead to skill ups and potentially higher stats. Players can also suffer injuries while on the field, the most extreme of which, of course, is death. A dead player is gone for good and will be removed from the roster. The Game Station's Blood Bowl League will be a short, single round-robin cup, in which 8 teams battle against each other, and every coach will have the opportunity to play a match against every other coach. The top 4 teams at the end of the round-robin will go on to a single elimination playoff, leading to a grand finals. The round-robin will consist of 4 matches per week for 7 weeks. Each channel will fight every other channel over the course of those weeks and will publish the videos on their YouTube channel. You will be able to watch the match from either player's perspective, depending on which you would prefer, and both coaches will be on Skype bantering throughout the whole proceeding. I will also be producing a weekly roundup video which consists of stats, recaps, highlights, and interviews with the coaches. Blood Bowl is a compelling strategic game, but it is not without a fairly significant element of luck, so I would expect rage of the dice to occur, as the great god of the dice, Nuffle, does not take kindly to your pitiful offerings. So without further ado, let's introduce you to our teams.
Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm CRENDOR, and I'm going to introduce to you my Blood Bowl team that will be winning all of their games and destroying this Blood Bowl league. We have the CRENDORIANS, who are also the Lizardmen, and my team consists of the Skinks, who are the fast, agile players, which are Greg Jennings, who will carry the team on his back, Jacoby Jones, Lil Skittles making it Rainbow, and RG4 Lizardbot Edition, who is one of the greatest players to ever play. We got Swampy the Dwarf Smasher, ZJ Honorana Donovan, Lil Spiky, Dirty Dave, formerly Double D, Javon DeBrinkashaw Jr., and Lavarius Nex Terriax III. Those are my Saurus. They'll be doing a lot of hitting of the opponents. So if you're trying to pass against me, I would suggest watching out for Javon DeBrinkashaw and Lavarius Nex Terriax, because they will be doing a lot of smashing of opponent teams attempting to get into my zone. So I'd suggest not doing that. Then, of course, we got Lizard Ditka, who is easily... Once this league is over, you'll be like, who's the best player? And everyone will just be like, oh, Lizard Ditka. Oh,
No one dares mess with the beards. Hey everyone, I'm Gerard Khalil, aka The Completionist, aka The Beardman, and I'm bringing the power of the beards with the Norse into the TGS Blood Bowl League. Known for their awesome beards, drinking abilities, and love for beautiful women, the Norse don't mess around when it comes to the Blood Bowl. These barbarians bring everything they can with their bashy playstyle, and they will show no mercy. As the coach of Team Beardman, I think it's safe to say that we're going to bring as much death, pain, and destruction as we can.
I am going to be coaching the Amazons, or as we like to call our team, the Bamazons. This is a team of squirrely lady faces, light of armor, but quick to dodge. We are fast, feisty, and we have both of our boobs, which is totally uncharacteristic of Amazons. As to our team members, we accept only the best. If their names seem eerily similar to Thundercats characters, you are wildly mistaken. We aren't here to be pretty. We're here to win. We will crush our competition, and to all other coaches, there will be no death by Snoo Snoo.
Hey, what's up guys, Beyond Vox, and welcome to my Vox Force here. I picked the Dark Elves, okay, based on websites and reading and things and stuff, and hopefully I know what I'm doing. But, okay, a lot of them look the same, I know, but I'm going for more tactics here, and hopefully it turns out the best for me. Although, to be fair, I probably should have at least picked one Witch Elf. Come on, they run around half naked all the time. If I am going to lose, at least I get to put on a show. But my motto is, what the hell are we doing? Because I'm going to play the field like I know what I'm doing. Nevertheless, good luck to all the TGS people, as I love you all, but on the field, you're dead. But afterwards, we can go hug and get candy and stuff. So cheer for me, Vox Force, as I am Bebop Vox. Let's do this.
Oh, the humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, SIGMAR'S Strafers have managed to blitz their way into the TGS Blood Bowl. They're out to prove the Empire's got what it takes to dominate the competition with an all-star lineup of battle-hardened heroes. Far more than just average, the humans bring a versatile playstyle to the field, allowing them to take on various opponents and change their game plan at a moment's notice. Definitely keep an eye on the Strafers for this year's Blood Bowl victory.
From the darkest corners of the woods they hail, a team so powerful they can only be named Epic Maneuver. Wood elves clad in wood and other tree pieces, all together with their might of the linemen and war dancers and giant tree men. Look, the theme is wood. Lots of wood. Wearing the color pink, for they need not show how manly they are. These elves epitomize victory. And this time, it will be the trees that cut you down.
I don't always watch football, but when I do, I watch Angry Joe's Hollywood Horrors. They are the best in Transylvania. They have 1, 2, 3 championships, and the only choice for counts: zombies, werewolves, and Stein monsters of the underworld. Okay, enough of that. Angry Joe here, and I want to introduce you to my team. The Necromantics are always a ton of fun, especially if you love horror movies like myself. They're a bit of a jack of all trades. They can trade some blows with the bigger heavy teams like the short, fat, stumpy Chaos Dwarves that TB is playing, and they can keep up with the faster teams like the frilly Nancy nature-loving Wood Elves from Jesse. So I think I have the formula for success here. Let's do this shit. Lights, camera, murder!
My name is TotalBiscuit, and I will be playing the Chaos Dwarf team just as planned. Chaos Dwarves are a pretty interesting mix because they consist of some really high armor, very tough and hardy frontline troopers in the form of Chaos Dwarf blockers, as well as cheap hobgoblins and incredibly fast but surprisingly strong bull centaurs that can be deployed for a variety of different roles. I'll be starting off with 6 Chaos Dwarf blockers as well as some hobgoblins to support them and a good number of rerolls for my team to ensure that I can reduce the random chance. When it comes down to my opponents, no one really has the kind of armor and durability of the Chaos Dwarves on the front line, so I expect to grind my opponents into paste. I'm looking forward to stomping a little bit of elf face on the field, and anyone that gets in my way can expect to be missing a few limbs by the end of the match. With good starting skills out of the box and a fairly unusual playstyle, I expect my Chaos Dwarf team to smash a little bit of face and cause plenty of surprises in this tournament. Whatever happens, it will of course be just as planned. And there you have it, folks, the lineup for the GameStation's Blood Bowl League. You can expect plenty fantasy football action coming your way over the next 8 or so weeks, and you can find it all on the 8 different channels participating in this particular league. My name has been TotalBiscuit, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.